everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I have been struggling with coming to make an episode or write really anything recently because there's just been a lot on my mind and not really sure how to convey the things I want to convey. So, and if in what I don't know, thinking about the repercussions of the things that I say. So I'm just going to put out a quick disclaimer that anything that I say, take with a grain of salt, do your own research. I'm not taking liability for any of this shit. I just want to get out my research thoughts, ideas, theories, and other shit. But it's up to you to actually do the work and do the research and, contribute to the conversation. But first and foremost, I want to talk about that. I don't really watch mainstream news, and I haven't for a really long time. But I'm aware from the people around me that no one really knows what happened in Maui, or at least in where I'm at on the East Coast and of the United States, and nothing's really being reported about it. And I just want to run down a couple things. So firstly, I just want to say, over on the East Coast, when we have weather, bad weather or threat of bad weather or hurricanes, typically when you're near the shoreline, you always maintain the trees and the power lines, and you keep them cut and a way distance back from if they were to fall and hit a line, so that they don't fall down. So unfortunately in Maui, that's not what happened. The trees were not cut by the lines, and it was the perfect almost situation to have what the fire happened. But what's so just disturbing to me is that after it happened, so not even really 24 hours after all these mass death occurred, and people were trapped in a town. First of all, I don't know if you guys know, people were trapped, that they were not allowed to leave. There were barricades. People were in their cars trying to leave, and they were not allowed to leave, nor were they told. They were not given information about this. If the alarms that are normally sounded off when you live in an area where there's a lot of hurricane or by the water, you sound the alarm so that people know something's going on. The alarms weren't sound, and whatever officer that spoke up about it was oh no, we don't regret doing that, because if we sounded the alarms, we were afraid that would send people into the fire. So instead, they just didn't say anything, and people just went out their window and saw what the fuck was happening. It was too late. And it was just, I can't even imagine. I've heard from people, I wouldn't be able to watch it. There were live streams of people in there, that started all fine and ended up horrible, and people obviously perished. Another thing that people don't know is that the schools just happened. There was either some sort of holiday or something, or the kids were sent home from school while their parents were still at work. So essentially the kids were sent into where the fire occurred. Now I don't know if this is still going on, but I know mainstream media and a lot of news source outlets were not allowed there over the first couple days that it happened. So that's why no one really knew what was going on, except if you knew people on the ground over there. I don't know if it was the same guy. It was another state official for Hawaii that said the same day or right after that they were already thinking about what they were going to do with the real estate, while you still have fucking dead bodies laying around. They're oh, we have all this prime real estate. And so there are there are a lot of rich people that live in Hawaii, obviously, and none of their trees were cut by the lines. None of their shit was affected. It only seemed like it was regular average people, like the common folk of the community that, really got screwed. And I'm really sick. And if this was something that was nefarious or planned or whatnot, like, I'm really sick and tired of us just like sitting here and like continuing to like take it. Because I ended up posting an article the other day, because I was telling like my family, I was like, you guys just watch. We're like, if you think it can if it's not going to happen to us, like, we're next unless we say no. Like, we have to start saying no. And lo and behold, there's an article like a day or two after the fire that says, oh, anywhere in the U.S. could be the next Maui. So it's just propagating that fear in your face to make you think that, like, there's this danger of all these fires now in the U.S. And, like, that's not the truth. There's also theories that they were like Chinese fucking lasers and shit. That's not what happened. As far as I'm aware, to my knowledge and what I've read and whatnot, and who I've spoken to, my opinion is it was not any kind of like a Chinese laser or whatnot. And I even think the Chinese was like denied. They were like, we have nothing to do with this. I'm not sure on that. You'd have to fact check it. The people were also denied water and aid. So there were residents that were trying to bring the people of Maui like aid and supplies on their jet skis, and literally just good citizens breaking the law to bring these people aid. And I am fucking sick and tired of sitting here like this lame duck, thinking and like not speaking up about my thoughts about this. Clearly, I don't really think that, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I can't say for a fact that I don't know who's in charge of this, what happened, if this is something with HARP, if this was a freak accident. But what are the odds? That's something I'm always talking about. What's the math that like it would just be such a perfect, like, windstorm and why would you not? I was thinking about it. I don't give a shit if you thought I was going to run into a fire. At least give me the alarm and warn me something's going on so I have a chance, so I know to get out of bed and go, it's just so sickening. And so if I don't say something about like how I feel about this and how I don't like the way it was handled, and I don't want people to just ignore it and go away, because it's just gonna keep fucking happening. If it's not a fire, it'll be another fucking hurricane or just something. It's just not gonna stop. I've realized that the people that do have like the power or whatnot, or do want nefarious things, they don't fucking stop. You could sit with your fucking head in the corner and stand there and just be like, you do what you do. I just want to live my life and leave me alone. Just stand right here looking at the corner. They cannot. They gotta pull. They gotta take your right arm. You have to fucking follow. It's just they don't quit it, and it's like really like sick. And so I just wanted to mention this, my thoughts about what happened, bring it to some people's attention, have you guys get interested, do some of the research, get back to me, start speaking up, because information is really power. And we live in a free country, so to speak, right? Freedom of speech. We shouldn't be censoring ourselves, and I shouldn't be afraid or worried about telling you guys what my personal thoughts are or opinions about this, and hoping and hope that it'll spark again more interest for you guys to go out in there and research. And there's so many other things I want to talk about, but I'm gonna wrap this one up. So thanks for listening, and definitely go to Finnkers.com, put in your email. It's free. It's a way that God forbid I get censored or banned off of any of my other platforms. I always have one form of contact for people, so that's really important to me. Again, that's Finnkers.com, and I really appreciate you guys listening. Please send me your thoughts, and have the greatest night. Hey, I just wanted to add a couple more thoughts. So after the fire occurred, Joe Biden was asked about it, and he literally just said, like, no comment. And I just know, I mean, I would think that any president who was informed about this, like, tragedy, even if, like, they were, let's just say, the worst person in the world and was, like, glad about it, they would still come out and be like, you know, our condolences, and like, but like, it's just so fucking, like, arrogant and cruel and inhumane, and like, just so much indifference. And it's just plainly in your, how much more do we need to see in our faces to realize that that we've been fucked over and over again, and it's just never fucking ending. So that was one thing that I wanted to say about, you know, our own president speaking about what he couldn't even speak on it. And then the next thing I wanted to say is $700, I think that they said it was going to go to each family. I'm not exactly sure, but how much do you think we send to Ukraine? How much do you think we're spending for weapons? How much do you think we're spending on you know, a war that we're not in, but we are in, but we don't know? Like, $700 to citizens of the United States who lost everything, and what, 700 billion for Lockheed Martin, for, you know, I don't know, for war. I don't know, just a thought.